Are emergencies in urology preventable? Possibly yes, and many a times no. So emergencies in urology, the subject of genitourinary surgery, which a urologist faces 24 by 7, range from the lower urinary tract to the upper urinary tract. Many a times we knew that there are things wrong and we miss out as an individual in the society or as a patient and probably present late. And that late presentation could actually be an emergency which you may not be knowing. That means apart from pain, bleeding, and the word cancer, there are many more emergencies which could intrigue you and wake you up. Let's discuss few of them in short. So to start with, urological emergencies are preventable provided we identify ourselves and our problems much in advance. That's sometimes missed out because many a times it so happens that we take it in our stride. Something which happens and then settles down or does not trouble us too much in these kind of tough and trying times, we possibly forget. For example, hematuria or bleeding in urine is an emergency. Bleeding should never happen in urine. If you see macroscopic or frank blood in urine, you see blood which could be passed in the early part of your urination, or the whole of the urination is red, or the last part is red. Terminal hematuria. So, in initial hematuria or bleeding in the first part, complete hematuria or bleeding entirely, or the last part bleed, which is called terminal hematuria, are all emergencies. So, as much when you pass clots, if you're passing clots, that means probably the blood is clotting out there and then you're able to pass it out. Possibly you have got some obstruction, but you're able to wake up to a phenomena that this is passing. This is all overnight. People have a Saturday or a Sunday morning night hematuria. They somehow wait till the night and they come in the morning to an outpatient department, which is a cool appointment based outpatient department, but where a lot of emergencies do come in around of hematuria. So bleeding in urine is never normal. If you have a bleeding in urine ever in the past, you're waiting for a possible bigger signal to happen in the future around. So to go to a logical conclusion and to treat it, a urologist would identify that by identifying questions and answer them. He will ask you those questions which help you to identify what could be silent causes that could have led one day to a bleeding in urine. So it could be anything. Adults could have silent, painless hematuria, where we get to see a lot of smokers who come in with hematuria, and that actually could be a bladder cancer sitting inside. So, hematuria or bleeding in urine many a times is ignored by our patient population, our society, because they think it could not necessarily be happening again and again. Or something happened at night, next day morning got cleared up, and people forget about it, which is not right. So, bleeding in urine is never normal. If you have a macroscopic or visible bleeding in urine, please see a urologist in your city as early as possible. At the Kokilaben Hospital, when I continue to see such patients from Monday morning 8:30 till Saturday evening 8:30, I know that every day we get to see some bleeding in urine, which had happened a weeks ago, months ago, even years ago. And possibly after that got well, and therefore we had no major urinary complaints. Though we were diabetics, we were hypertensive, or we were absolutely without any comorbidities. One fine day, after these days, weeks, or months, we have sudden onset massive bleeding. And therefore, every bleeding in urine is to be taken to a logical conclusion, which is an important emergency that we can prevent around. That means you could pick up either a very severe infection, which is told so much by you in terms of burning, pain, fever, etc. You could pick up a stone which is actually moving around. Till the stone was silent, you never knew about it. It was growing gradually in the calyces in the kidney and gradually growing to some point. The smaller stones have a tendency to move around. They could move from the calyx to the pelvis of the kidney, and from the pelvis cross the PUJ if they are of that size, which could be anything between 2, 5, and 10 millimeters, and could land up in the upper ureter, the mid ureter, or the lower ureter. While happening, there could be discomfort or pain, not usually in the upper part, but on one of the sides. So either the right side or the left side starts paining, and the pain can come down, pain can come in the front, pain can go to the urinary passages, which could actually be accompanied by bleeding. So pain and bleeding on one side, which has happened sudden onset at night or at dawn, you're in traveling or you're in resort, is possibly a stone moving down causing bleeding in urine. So I talked about infection causing bleeding in urine is a severe infection. Stone falling down the kidney and causing bleeding in urine is a stone which is moving around. That means the stone needs a treatment. Till it was gradually growing and was uh, seated in the place, it possibly was not causing trouble to you. But when it moved down the kidney pipe and came all the way down, it possibly caused something called a situation of a ureteric colic. So that's one aspect which we need to wake into. And then we come into the other cause of bleeding, which is cancers in the genitourinary system. So cancers from the kidney, cancers from the ureter, cancers from the bladder, all of them can cause to present as bleeding. They could also be picked up in today's modern era by a possibility of ultrasound or a CT scan picking up for some reason that ultrasound or CT scan was done, it could pick it up very well. But in those conditions where it possibly is not picked up, it's a sad story that it's always advanced or it needs an early and emergent attention of a urologist. So bleeding in urine should be looked at as an emergency which you can prevent completely. Number one. Number two, if you have got burning sensation in urine and you never had burning in the last 10, 20, 40, 60 years of your life, there's something happening down there. It could be a marker of a urinary infection. It could be a kind of an inflammation in the urethra or urinary passage, and therefore there's burning. So something of burning in urine, which we call as dysuria in medical terms, is something which we need to look at. That is an aspect which every person who has got burning in urine should be looking into and probably taking it to a logical conclusion. A midstream and a clean cat specimen of a urine will help us to identify whether it's a urinary tract infection. So don't take burning lightly and empirically. All burning in urination or dysfunctional voiding of the kind which happens as a result of burning, where you're passing frequently, passing with emergency and pain, has to be taken to a logical conclusion. We move forward from burning and looking into males and females separately. Males have got a prepuce or a skin which actually does not flow in easily. That means it cannot be retracted very easily because they're non-circumcised, and it can be a seat of inflammation, infection, and a lot of anxiety when children grow from adolescence to adulthood. At the time, as the penile organ grows and as skin gets tighter and tighter, it does not match the capability of the growth of the organ. The skin can be tight, and this is called phimosis. Phimosis is what anybody could live with at the age of 10, 20, 50, and even 90. But if phimosis is troublesome, it causes huge amount of anxiety. One, it could be troublesome in terms of causing acute and chronic balanoposthitis, an inflammation and infection which needs to be probably cleaned up and cleared up. But that can only be happen with antibiotics and anti-inflammatory for a short time. The bottom line is possibly a phimosis needs a treatment, a surgical cure where you need a circumcision and a frenuloplasty. So a circumcision is one which takes care of these tight prepuce which actually cannot be retracted well. And many times people present to emergency department with paraphimosis, another aspect. Paraphimosis is where we have a skin retracted completely beyond the glands but cannot come back. You leave it for a few minutes to a few hours and it swells up there. It causes a tight amount of swelling that is too difficult to handle, which you cannot then bring it back, whatever. You present probably n number of hours or sometimes even a day or days later. That time the swelling has become quite robust. It's quite hard. It's painful. There could be inflammation. And the phimotic ring actually needs to be incised and divided. An emergency which was created because we knew that it was tight and we probably missed it out. So paraphimosis is a result of phimosis. Both of them could have different kind of emergencies. Many times as urologists, we could look at the penis of a middle-aged adult man and say, are you diabetic? Because there could be that picture of redness and the discharge of pus and things which possibly miss out. And that's called paraphimosis or an infection, which is something that needs to be looked at. Either an acute emergency can be prevented around, or in a diabetic individual, chronic balanoposthitis or acute and chronic balanoposthitis with recurrent infection wakes up that this could be possibly a diabetic patient. So many diabetic patients will not be knowing that they are diabetic till a urologist identifies that this is a balanoposthitis of an acute kind, which necessarily is resulting from a possibility of a diabetes which has gone wrong somewhere. So remember, diabetes and infections actually happen to be enemy to each other. And then there's too much of infection, diabetes will go out of control. And if there's infection very severe, you can sometimes pick up, especially from the tip of the shaft, which we pick up around. We also know that fracture penis is a kind of an emergency which adult men do get in an erect shaft, which is bent untowardly in a direction towards the perineum, and which can be a sexual emergency that can happen to them, something which we need to wake up to. Many times we need to wake up to a kind of a stone falling down the ureter and causing a ureteric colic, an emergency, because we knew that the kidney stone was there. And months and years we were doing ultrasounds around. Ultrasound can only show a size of the stone. It doesn't at any point in time behold when the stone would fall down the kidney into a narrow pipe called the ureter or a conduit. The ureter was made to pass urine, not to pass fluids. The stones can just come into the ureter, and ureter is a broad pipe at the top and narrower and narrowest at the bottom. The vesicular junction, the narrowest part, is where even a 2, 3, 4 millimeter stone can get stuck and can get stuck for a long time. Once the pain disappears, people think the stone has disappeared, but not necessarily. You need to prove it to the urologist that the stone has not disappeared. Because if it stays there, it can cause an edema or a swelling there, a tightness, which could then result to the next level of complication, which could be hydroureter. The ureter in that area gets edematous and obviously later on could cause an inflammation which could not heal completely. Such ureteric stones need to be treated in time by a ureteroscopy. Therefore, that conduit or the road which has got blocked by the car which came out from the garage and fell down needs to be cleared up completely in time. So friends, emergencies in urology come in many ways. As summer season comes, more and more stones are picked up because of dehydration, people drinking less water. I always keep telling that once a stone former, always a stone former, and these stones need to be treated. Today in this era that we can do flexible ureteroscopy, retrograde intrarenal surgery, where we can telescope all the way up into the kidney, go and powder the small stones, which could actually become a harbinger of emergencies. We could do that by a flexible ureteroscopy. People from professions of airline industry and maritime industry, industries wherein sea and air, if you are the man in charge, like a sailor or a captain of a ship, or an air hostess or a pilot, you're aware that these stones could be a jeopardy to you and the machine that you drive or fly, like the ship or the plane. And therefore, you're grounded most of the times if you have got stones in the kidney or the kidney pipe. Therefore, we need to wake up to these emergencies which could be prevented. I was only talking about preventable emergencies where pain, bleeding, and discomfort, and the word cancer always does not bring you to a urologist. If you have got untoward issues in urinary passage, if there's something untoward picked up, I think it's time in today's era where incidental ultrasound and CT scans do pick up things in the kidney, in the adrenal gland, in the ureter, in the urinary bladder, in the prostate, in the urethra, in the testicles. Discomfort of a kind needs to be seen by a urologist in time. Not having discomfort and picked up something, I think it's time to clarify it in time before it becomes an emergency. Friends, it's only to drive emergency in today's world where postponement of health of a kind where a urinary system has been jeopardized with something where it would only require an emergency treatment of a urologist in time can be prevented, and any emergency can be prevented to a semi-emergency or a plant kind of a technique where we could bring about a treatment and cure, which is what is desirable. It was only a wake-up call to bring emergencies to light of the society. And that actually can become a gory, difficult issue at times when we don't pick it up in time. Therefore, emergencies are preventable, emergencies are picked up in time, and many a times emergencies do happen which can be treated. So today's world with the kind of healthcare facilities available across the city and the country, and urologists armed to the teeth with A to Z in the subject of treating and preventing emergencies, I think it's time for the society to wake up, reach your urologist in your city and probably get it sorted. Thank you so much.